We've said it first and we'll keep saying it again. 30s are hot, everyone.
30s are hot. If Barbie's in her 30s, then like the best is yet to come. Hello, welcome to the Fangirl Feels podcast. My name is Olivia.
My name's Tanya.
And we're the podcast where we have an emotional analysis of all the books, movies, shows, all the pop culture things that give us all the feelings. And today we are deep diving into the world of Barbie. The best world. Barbie.
That explains why I'm dressed like this, by the way. I
She
don't
looks
regularly dress like this.
She looks adorable. Truly a walking Barbie among us.
Thank
Incredible. It looks so great. I wish I had thought of dressing up like Barbie, but I don't have any Barbie clothes.
It was a surprise. I'm sorry that I didn't tell her that we're gonna do this.
It's okay. I'm for it. I know. I'm currently moving, helping my sister move, so I look like a garbage can at the moment. So we have Barbie and a garbage can, but that's okay.
We look like, and you told me about this just a minute ago, the Santa Monica houses. You are the Batman house, and I'm the Barbie house.
Indeed. That's exactly it. Which I identify as the Batman house, so that's okay. I'm cool with that.
Most days, I'm the Batman house.
Most days, I identify. So no issues. It's funny. I'm excited, though. Excited about this.
So we're going to do this deep dive on Barbie, but we're going to start by talking about what we know about Barbie. What are our thoughts? So what are your thoughts on Barbie?
I love Barbie. I was a big Barbie fan. I played with Barbies until I was like in 6th grade, which is probably later than most people would play with Barbie, but I played with Barbie for a while. I'm not embarrassed to admit it. I loved Barbie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any I only have good emotions towards Barbie. I loved playing with Barbie, and I don't know much else about Barbie. How many times can I say Barbie?
How many times? We'll do a count. Some listener count how many times we say Barbie on this episode, and then
Barbie.
Yeah, it's just fun to say. I'm in the same boat. I played with them, collected them. Like they started doing those collectibles. And like my favorite Barbie was first off, it was the mermaid Barbie growing up, 10 out of 10. And they like changed colors. Did you own those?
No, I didn't. Girl, you were rich. I didn't have that. Barbie was too expensive. Which actually like Barbie, I don't know how much Barbie costs, but I just remember my parents being like very particular. They're like, you can't have another Barbie, you have too many. I was like, I guess they were too expensive. I don't know.
They did become expensive. You're right. Like, because they started out as like affordable Barbies. So I'll mention this later, but the first one was $3 back at that time. One of my favorites was the Indian Barbie. Like, they did the Dolls of the World collection in 1997. That was my other favorite one. Yeah. Was there an Egyptian Barbie?
No, I just had blonde Barbie. I just got basic standard blonde Barbie. I didn't realize that at all, actually. Wow. I was deprived.
What? Yeah, you had no idea.
I just played with blonde Barbie. I didn't think anything else. And my Barbie would date. We didn't have Ken. I just had Barbie. So my Barbie would date Woody from Toy Story because I had a Woody doll. So they were dating.
Stop. That's the cutest thing I ever heard.
Woody and Barbie.
A match made in heaven.
It was a match made in heaven. The Woody toy was like of cloth and he would like flop around everywhere. Good time. Super fun.
So there was an Egyptian Barbie, apparently. She was called Princess of the Nile Barbie.
No way.
And I know you're on your phone, so you can't see it right now, but I'll send it to you later. But
oh my God, that's so upsetting. I literally had no idea. No idea that existed.
Oh, the representation you could have had, Olivia. My God.
No, I just had blonde Barbie.
Oh man, we were deprived.
Yeah, I liked her. I have no issues with my blonde Barbie, but yeah, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think anything else was possible.
Well, I know that we've also been talking about how excited we are for the Barbie movie. They're doing great with the branding, 10 out of 10. Great marketing department. Keep hiring them, everyone, because I didn't think I'd be into it until like I saw like all the things they dropped, the imagery, the actors. I'm like, I really want to see this. I can't wait. What have you been thinking?
Same. Oh, I'm like so excited. It's the movie of the summer for me. I'm not a big movie goer, but this will get me to the theaters. This and Across the Spider-Verse. Like I will be in theaters for those for sure.
Those are two worth going to, I think.
Indeed. So excited.
Well, do you know anything about the history of Barbie? Anything at all?
I know it was like the 1950s. Yeah, actually, I mean, I've heard briefly things, but nothing I could like formulate a thought. So no, we'll say no.
I'm the same way. And like if there were any scandals, which I might bring up some, I didn't hear about them. As kids, we just used the toy and played with it. So yeah, I didn't hear about anything until today.
Ugh, well, I hope I don't like hate Barbie. Am I gonna hate Barbie after this or no?
Listen to hear if you might hate Barbie.
Oh no, Barbie. Rest in peace, Barbie.
Spoiler alert, it's all good vibes here. For anyone who doesn't know what Barbie is and you're listening to this, like, what are they talking about? Why are you here? Number one. Number two, because it's probably in our title. Number two, here's a deep dive or an explanation of what Barbie is straight from the wiki page. Barbie is a fashion doll manufactured by American toy company Mattel and launched on March 9th, 1959. She's a Pisces, so am I. American businesswoman Ruth Handler is credited with the creation of the doll using a German doll called Build Lily as her inspiration.
Interesting. Okay, she's German. Makes sense. Blonde hair.
She's not German.
Oh.
She was born in Denver, Colorado to Polish Jewish immigrants in 1916. So she's a child of World War One. And actually, when she formed Barbie, it was around World War II. So funny how life works that way. She was the youngest of 10 children, and a fun fact, she was actually a tomboy, so she didn't care for dolls. She did, however, like have a love for working at her family's soda fountain business, so she was a business girly from a young age.
Wow, an entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur. We love that. Love
I
to see
know.
it.
Love to see it at a young age.
Yeah, love it.
So she grew up as a tomboy, didn't have care for dolls, and she ended up marrying her high school boyfriend, Elliot Handler, who ends up becoming her co-founder for her company. So they moved to LA around 1938. She landed a job as a secretary at Paramount Pictures as her first job. I don't know if that was her first job. She landed a job as a secretary at Paramount Pictures, and soon after her husband joined her there in LA as well. And they ended up having 2 children. Get this, their names were Barbara and Ken.
I don't know how I feel about that. They were their children because they're dating and all of the lore, the Barbie lore.
You know, that I didn't think about until right now. The incest. Is this Game of Thrones?
Is this Game of Thrones? I don't know, what is this? But that's cute. I mean, she's just naming the dolls after her children. That's cute. The fact that they became a couple there was not a lot of foresight there, probably. That's okay.
Yeah, they weren't thinking far ahead, which is fair.
No.
She's iterating.
Yeah.
She's a business queen.
That's okay. Yeah, we accept it. Good for her.
That was her MVP, and it was validated with sales. So
Indeed it was.
About the business, her husband decided to make furniture out of newfound types of plastic, lucite, and plexiglass. And when I say that, do you already know where this might lead to?
Some sort of like issues.
No.
No?
No, I was just gonna say because Barbie's plastic.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like there's like lead in them. Like, I'm expecting the worst. Some sort of toxic.
We are now liable for compensation for playing with Barbie.
Yeah, I'm like waiting for that. Well, you mentioned like chemicals like plexiglass. I'm like, oh my god, kids got murdered playing with Barbies. Like something happened.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we all have cancer from playing with Barbie. Put it down.
Would not be surprised if that was the case. I legitimately thought that's what you were gonna say.
No, I was just gonna say, wow, I thought about that transition ahead of time, and that did not go how I thought it would.
Improv.
Not my forte. All right.
It's okay. No. I threw a curveball at you. Okay. So Barbie.
So anyways, he had a newfound business and that he worked with like different types of plastic, and Ruth suggested, business queen, thinking ahead, she suggested that they do it commercially, and they began their furniture business. He ended up being the designer, so he's like the creative, and she took up sales. And that's how they launched their first business. They ended up calling this business Mattel.
Oh, where did Mattel come from?
Mattel, the name, is a combo of Elliot's first name, her husband, and that of their newfound partner at the time. His name was Harold Matson. So Elliot and Matson Mattel.
Interesting. Okay, I like it. Creative. We all know Mattel now. So icons.
Olivia, what's our combined business next venture? What's our name going to be?
Oh, you know, didn't we do this before? Couldn't it still be like, no, wait, hold
Olivia.
on. It could still be Olivia in some ways. Yeah, it's like, or Tavia. Tavia?
Tavia. She's a really cool dancer.
Tavia. Okay, that's our next
You know what
business
that's
venture.
from? From
No.
Cynthia. She's a really cool dancer. Rugrats.
Oh, yes, you're right. Okay, yes. I know you're talking about.
Tavia or just Olivia,
And just,
we'll
I like Tavia. Tavia's creative. Let's do Tavia.
yeah, like ethnically ambiguous too.
It is
Where's
ethnically
that from?
ambiguous. Yes, Tavia. Could be anything.
Yeah. All right. I'm getting the domain name now in the LLC.
Do it.
So they got this new business called Mattel with their new business partner, Matt. And following a dry spell within the furniture making industry, they had to pivot. They weren't landing sales. Within this dry spell, they felt that they could move Mattel into a different direction.
Oh, bum, bum, bum.
2 stories that were pivotal to the Barbie franchise that are alleged. Nobody's sure of which is fully confirmed, but both make sense to be inspiration for Barbie. So one story, Ruth, the founder that we've been talking about, took a trip to Europe and saw a doll dressed as a woman, which was different than the baby dolls she saw for kids that pushed the notion for motherhood for young girls.
Oh, interesting. Before this, they weren't like Barbie, like they made a doll and it was just like a baby doll before this.
So they didn't have any dolls yet. This was like they still had their
Okay.
business, and that was like furniture making.
I see. And they named it Mattel.
They named it Mattel, but she went to Europe and started having different inspiration that led to the creation of Barbie.
I see. Okay, this makes sense.
So in a book that I think a memoir or like a book she contributed to, she said, those dolls encouraged nurturing and motherhood and perpetuated the idea that a girl's future was defined by being a mother and a homemaker. Barbie was born out of a desire to give girls something more. A feminist, ahead of her time. Wow.
I love that. I love that so much, actually.
Me too.
Yeah.
Another quote, my own philosophy of Barbie, she wrote in an autobiography, was that through the doll, a little girl could be anything she wants to be. Barbie always represented the fact that a woman had choices.
Wow, truly ahead of her time. That's so nice.
Right, decades ahead of her time. So that's phenomenal.
It's huge.
The other story, that other site as inspo for the creation of Barbie, she witnessed her daughter playing with paper dolls at home that she created and not real 3D dolls. So she wanted to create a more realistic toy that represented what these girls wanted to be. And so she pushed Mattel for the release of what was to be known as the Barbie doll, again named after her daughter, Barbara.
Nice. I love that. That's so cute. So we don't know which one of these stories is true. It could be one of them or both.
They could both be true. And honestly, I went to a site called like Antique Toys or something, and then like also Wiki. So who knows?
Yeah. But I like both of these stories. They're both nice.
I know.
Yeah, very good. Very wholesome.
So it took her 3 years to develop the first Barbie doll, which made its debut at the American Toy Fair on March 9th, 1959. And leading up to that toy fair, there was advertisements being featuring the toys that would be presented, and like Barbie was in there. Toy buyers were unimpressed leading up to the fair. They decided that they had never seen a doll so completely unlike the baby and toddler dolls that were popular at the time. And many were put off by the doll's womanly figure. They were misogynists.
Yeah, clearly. What the heck? It's a doll.
It's just a doll. Chill out. Yeah.
It's not that serious.
I think from the same book or autobiography, Ruth, little girls want baby dolls. One buyer said in a story recounted by Handler in her autobiography, they want to pretend to be mothers. False. She said false.
False. No. I went on like spy missions with my Barbie dolls.
Yeah. None of them were mother. Maybe there was like a mother one, but no, I didn't have it.
Nope, me neither.
At the toy fair, Barbie was an instant success, and girls clamored for the doll. And Mattel sold over 350,000 dolls within their first year at $3 per doll.
Must be nice. That was a cheap doll. But $3 is like what with inflation? Like,
yeah. How do I do them at 1959 inflation calculator?
1959 is the equivalent of $31.35 today.
Oh, okay. You know what? That kind of tracks.
It does track. So it's not the cheapest doll. It's not super expensive, but it's not cheap for a doll. Yeah.
for that time. Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
That makes sense.
I know that like throughout our childhood, like there've been ranges of Barbies. There were like the cheaper versions, and then the more like collectibles that were more expensive. So I think like perhaps, yeah, she had a range, because I know it's been like affordable for people throughout the ages.
Yeah, I think so. I probably just always wanted the expensive Barbies, and that's why my parents were like, "This is too much," or maybe they were just sick of having Barbies in the house, so they were like, "No more."
Like, ooh, these are too expensive. No more.
No, we just don't want any more Barbies. You're done with Barbies.
You're in 6th grade. Can we stop?
You need to stop playing with Barbies. Like, no, she's about to go save the world.
And then Olivia found Tumblr, and then that's
the next year. The next year, it went from Barbies to Tumblr, like the following year, immediately. No, that's not how it happened. DeviantArt. There's probably DeviantArt if we're serious.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Barbies to DeviantArt. Yeah.
I get that spiral. Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh, what do I do now? I have no more Barbies. They've been taken away from me.
But I still have so many feelings.
There's a DeviantArt.
And your fan fiction.
Yeah, fanfiction.net. That would work. Yeah, that did it for sure.
So the first Barbie that was ever launched was a blonde-haired, she was in a swimming outfit with black and white stripes. And she had her iconic pointed toe so that she could be on like a pedestal. And she had her iconic blonde ponytail as well. And that Barbie, if you find it out there, let us know, because it's now worth $27,000.
Wow. Amazing. I'm sure that's really hard to find.
Probably. We should go thrifting and see if we can find it.
See if we can find it. Yeah, it's amazing.
We found our out. We're going to stop the podcast. We found the Barbie.
we got $27,000. We're good now.
That's it for a lifetime. We're good.
No more.
So outfits and accessories were sold separately, which I think was such a smart move so that they could, you know, obviously make more sales. And I fell for it. Barbie house, Barbie car, Barbie clothes. I bought them all.
Oh, I was always so jealous of everyone who had those. I didn't get any of those. Yeah, I make it sound like I had like a deprived childhood. I did not. I just did not have these Barbie accessories. These are my memory. I don't think I used to make Barbie clothes with toilet paper.
What?
I'm not even kidding. I swear on my life, ask my sister. We would, because my mom didn't want to buy us clothes, like Barbie clothes, I would make it with toilet paper. I was a fashion designer with toilet paper.
That's insane, dude. That's so funny.
Yeah. You get creative as a kid.
She was a mummy.
Yes, it was just mummy aesthetic.
That's too funny. So one thing, again, iconic businesswoman Ruth, she negotiated a deal for the dolls to be advertised as the sole sponsors of the Mickey Mouse Club, and Barbie was the first toy to successfully be advertised directly to children.
Barbie was the first one advertised to children? That's so weird.
Yeah, first toy to successfully be advertised directly to children, according to this website that I found.
Wow, that's wild. Okay, successful.
Ahead of its time. Like,
yeah,
and now it's there's everything catered to children, like marketed to children all the time now.
Yeah, we would watch Nickelodeon, and it's just like all children's advertisements, right? You wanted every toy that showed up.
Yeah, slime and like those like
cars,
yeah, moon boots.
Yeah, everything was for kids. That's weird.
So soon after, they added the boyfriend for Barbie named Ken after, again, her son named Ken, which I guess purposeful, but I get it. They're like, they weren't thinking about incest. They're like, this works. And it does. It does work.
It does work. I mean, like, they're not their kids. But I wonder if they just felt bad at that point, too. They were like, well, we named one Barbie. We have to name the boy Ken. Like, we committed to this bit now.
We committed to the bit.
We committed to the bit now.
A long con.
We got to do this. We can't not name him Ken.
Smart. They had kids with the intention to start a business. I'm joking.
Why else do you have kids? It's only to start businesses.
I get it. Yeah, that's smart. What a businesswoman, I'm telling you.
She was ahead of her time.
Barbie is a hit worldwide. You know, the iconic Barbie. We all know her. We've all seen her. We've all owned her. But later years, Ruth Handler was diagnosed with breast cancer, unfortunately, in 1970. And to combat this, she had a mastectomy. And due to difficulties in finding a good breast prosthesis, she decided to make her own, again, businesswoman, with the help of new business partner Peyton Massey. And under a new company named Ruth Ton Corp., they manufactured a more realistic version of woman's breast called Nearly Me. And I bring this up because following the success of Rooston Corp and several investigations of producing fraudulent financial reports, Handler resigned from Mattel in 1974, and in 1978, she was charged with fraud and false reporting to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission.
Wait, what? So what does that mean? She just like didn't report their earnings correctly? Like,
yeah, I think some sort of fraud. Like typically, I think that means like someone's like taken some money. You know what I mean? Some fraud, or like what's it called? Where you're, what's that word? When you create a fake business to
like money laundering.
Maybe it was money laundering. No one. I don't know. I'm making that up. I don't know. I don't actually know.
Finance things.
I don't know. I've seen Ozark. Okay.
Fair. Interesting.
So essentially, not related to Barbie, but the owner did plead no contest and was fined $57,000 and was sentenced to 2,500 hours of community service. And she blamed her illness for making those unfocused business decisions. So, she wasn't a fraud during Barbie, but during this, I just had to mention that is the legacy of her career. But
that sucks.
I know. She ended up dying from complications of colon cancer in 2002. She was aged to 85, and her husband died 9 years later at the age of 95.
They lived pretty old lives. 2002. What's 9 years after 2002? 2011?
Math. Again, we do not know math or finance. Like, please help us.
No, we don't do that. But man, okay. Well, they created a legacy, that's for sure.
They did. I mean, and to be honest, like the legacy remains. Like with the movie coming out, the legacy of Barbie still persists, and I still have whenever I hear the word Barbie, I have fond memories and I have fond reactions. It's sold today. Mattel has sold over 1 billion dolls today, which is insane. And although throughout history they've been challenged for its unrealistic beauty standards, with her physique, she's often attributed to being one of the first toys that helped little girls open their eyes to the potential of what their life might be. It's like Barbie's been every type of person. She's been a college graduate, she's been a business exec, an astronaut, a diplomat, just like fill in the blank. Barbie's been that. And I took that away as well when I was younger, that you could be anything. And I thought that was great marketing.
Yeah, it is true. Like, I never had, like, I remember even as when we were a little bit older and people would like critique Barbie. And like, I probably took part in that somewhat, but I never had negative emotions, towards Barbie. Like, sure, she was like a blonde haired, skinny doll, but like, I just always enjoyed my time with her. I don't know, it was just fun. Like, she could be anything. She had pretty stuff. She is something that like you could look up to. Like any version of Barbie was available to you. Anything you wanted to be. That was fun.
I agree. I think that's a good takeaway. And like anything, you iterate and you create a newer version, especially for cultural changes and like morals changing throughout history, right? Like I noticed that they are creating there's like new marketing out there to have Barbie have more representation for populations out there, like they created the World Collection Barbie to have more representation of Indian and Egyptian Barbies. And I just think like with time, they made those changes and I can respect them for that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's like the fact that it's a product of its time, then it iterated and it's still relevant today. People love the not like, I know there's that new Barbie movie, but there were these like cartoon Barbie movies that I see everywhere on. I was too old for this, which I would like. I just never watched those, but I'm like, people love these movies and I respect it. Like, I don't know what they were about. Like,
that's so true. I've seen those. I'm sure we could find them on YouTube. Yeah, they were, and I've seen them. I'm like, they're not bad. I'd be into this if I was younger.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm sure the animation's not bad at all. I've seen like clips. I definitely will. It'll like show up on YouTube or on TikTok, and I will definitely like watch it. Like, I was 30-year-old adult. I will be sitting there like intrigued enough to keep watching it.
Yeah, I get it. We're about to do that now.
Yeah, I'm about to look up Barbie movies. There's like Swan Princess. That's like a Barbie movie, Swan Princess. There's like a Princess and the Pauper Barbie movie. I'm all for it. Like, sounds fun.
Same. And have you seen Life Size with Tyra Banks? I don't know if that was based on Barbie, but it's like similar concept.
It totally had to have been inspired by it. I loved that movie. Loved it. Watched it all the time. Wasn't it also with like Lindsay Lohan?
I think so. I'm about to watch it again tonight. Yeah, it's so
great movie. I know they made like a remake recently. I didn't watch it, but yeah. Life Size was great. Great movie. Yeah. Isn't that kind of what the Barbie movie is now? It's kind of the Barbie movie.
Maybe. Who
It's
knows?
just life size.
I'm curious where they're gonna take the direction of that movie. Yeah. Where if it's gonna like, I think like obviously it's gonna call itself out for certain, you know, Barbie memes. But yeah, I'm excited.
Definitely will. Margot Robbie is perfect as Barbie. Cannot imagine a different Barbie than her. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Time
There's
of our
been
lives.
discussion of, I think primarily Gen Z thinking Ryan Reynolds is too old for Ken. I don't think
Ryan
so.
Gosling.
I think he's fine. I think it works.
He's amazing. Like, why would he be too old? Like, no. Perfect. I think I actually saw like a clip from like some morning show, and they were like talking about Barbie's age. And because she is like an astronaut, a president, like she could be president, but she has to at least be 35, right? Like based off her professions. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like she's probably in her 30s. Like
Hey.
Barbie. Yeah.
We've said it first and we'll keep saying it again. 30s are hot, everyone.
30s are hot. If Barbie's in her 30s, I'm like, the best is yet to come for us.
I agree.
Yeah. Good for her. Good for her, Barbie. A queen. A legend.
Icon moves. Yes.
Role model. A role model. We love her.
Love diplomat. Yeah. President. Yeah. She can do no wrong. She's been to the moon. She's been
to the moon. She is ruled countries. She's a princess and a pauper. I don't know.
She's
I don't know if that's true. I just know that's a movie. She told me the princess. I don't know. Incredible. No notes.
No notes.
No notes.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Fangirl Feels. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into Barbie. We love doing these deep dives of popular culture, popular content, books, TV shows, etc. You can continue following us and learning more about us at Fangirl Feels Pod. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're also on TikTok, so follow us there, and then also follow our podcast. We're on all the major podcasting networks, so we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I think one more.
iHeartRadio. We need to get iHeartRadio is probably not a major one. We need to get on like Google Podcasts.
Only in Egypt, right?
Yeah, only in Egypt. I don't know, something like that.
Thank you to Olivia's family in Egypt, maybe, that's listening to this.
Unclear as to who's listening. We appreciate it.
So keep us updated. We love data from you all. Like, give us feedback. We just want to improve. There's parts that you think we could improve. We love to hear it. You cannot hurt our feelings. We promise. Maybe be nice also.
Maybe a little bit. You might a little bit, but that's okay.
I had my first hater comment. Someone didn't like my nose ring and my septum piercing.
That's stupid. That's just like a boomer. Like, who cares?
I didn't take it personally. I was like, cool. I've had these comments from my mom, so it was probably my mom.
She made an account just to write that for you.
Yeah,
probably.
Because I used to tell people like it's culturally Indian to have the septum. It is for the side piercing, but the septum it's not. My family's like, why do you have that? And I'm like, it's Indian. They're like, no, it's not.
No, it's not. It's okay. It looks good. It looks good on you.
Thank you.
It like blends. It looks very nice.
Thank you. All right, 3, 2, 1. Bye.
Bye. Bye.